Don't blink to blink. Welcome to the show. Guys, you're doing well. Guys, you're having a phenomenal morning, evening, afternoon. This is another video for the channel Inventor Gaming. We get the 20th of August. Happy birthday, Mom. Today we're talking about one of my favorite subjects. As a matter of fact, I like it so much that I got it tattooed. And yes, we're talking about Kingdom Hearts. The reason why we're talking about Kingdom Hearts is because this game absolutely changed my life. And I'm gonna do reviews of Kingdom Hearts. I'm gonna say how it changed my life. I'm gonna do another video about how much I cared about it. Right? I like this because today didn't do my hair. Which sounds lame, but who gives a shit? Yeah, so Kingdom Heart really changed my life, and multiple way. It was the first RPG I got really into. It was the first series I got really into. Before that, I never had a series I got into as much as I did. Kingdom Heart obsessed me, and it wasn't simply obsessing. It was every single title, from 356 days to Bird by Sleep to Kingdom Heart 1. No. Bird by Sleep, Kingdom Heart 1, 356 day, Kingdom Heart 3, Chains of Memory, Chains of Memory 3, Chains of Memories, Kingdom Heart 2, right, which was amazing, Kingdom Heart 2.5, 2.8, to Kingdom Heart 3, without forgetting games like Teardrop, Dream Drop Distance, or the eternal classic of Kingdom Hearts 3. Why we're talking about Kingdom Hearts today is pretty simple. I haven't been doing well lately because we were getting a lot of negative comments on the channel, the main channel, right, which is Kingdom Ink Vendetta. And I've been doing a lot of researching. I've been doing a lot of watching shows. And one of the shows that I watched was a retrospective on Kingdom Hearts, and here's why Kingdom Hearts completely changed my life. To this day, I still think Kingdom Hearts 1 is possibly one of the most influential game that I have. So game that I had, which was why was it so influential? See, when I was a kid, right? You see me with ADHD right now. You see me having a hard time focus. As a kid, it was much worse. As a kid, I was also gaming only at my mom's house. My father wouldn't let me game. My mom would give me a lot of sugar. Right, so Kingdom Hearts was one of the first games, and it's kind of crazy. So it's sad. It's actually pretty sad. Actually, really sad. Kingdom Hearts was one of the first games I really cared about for a simple reason. Most of the game that my mom bought was in English. I didn't speak English. I was French. I'm born French. So most of the games that I liked, I wasn't focused enough to play correctly. So I turned to RPG. RPG was my way out. RPG was the game that really changed me, right? And because you didn't need skills, you need to grind, you need to train. I didn't care about grinding as long as I got to beat the boss at the end. But most of the story were in English. In RPG, a big part of RPG for most RPG is the story. Since the gameplay mechanics are kind of similar to others. So, for example, right, something like, let's say something very new, like Black Myth Wukong. They have this amazing battles, and it's kind of different because, okay, well, it's a new title, right? And it's phenomenal because in RPG, you're all like, oh, turn to attack, right? And then you had a game like Kingdom Hearts. I couldn't understand the. Sorry, I'm emotional right now. I'm emotional because this game means so much to me. Yeah, it means so much. Kingdom Hearts was the first game again. I think I fell in love with. The RPG, I couldn't understand the story, so I was like, okay, well, it's kind of cool killing bosses, kind of cool killing enemies, but why am I doing what I'm doing, right? And then I was born in the 90s, so I got bitten by a mosquito. So the RPG, I fell in love with them because I did these skills, but I fell out of love because I couldn't understand. I grew up in the 90s. I grew up watching Walt Disney, and Walt Disney was present in Kingdom Hearts. I know Final Fantasy was possibly one of the best, if not the best RPG, because I could play them. One of my favorite game was Final Fantasy IV. I don't even understand the story. I just loved it. And Final Fantasy was becoming a new passion, and Kingdom Hearts, which had Walt Disney inside, was perfect. I didn't need to understand the story. was characters that I knew. It was characters that I loved, right? And I didn't know a lot about Final Fantasy, but I also loved it. Kingdom Hearts was also a way of almost action RPG. One of the first action RPGs that I ever played. Those those amazing scenes. The graphics were incredible. The music. I was gonna do a separate video, but let's do one video. Fuck it. The music is phenomenal. The music, in the sense of, we have Simple and Clean, which is, both of them are Utada Ikari, which it's such a beautiful thing. My Kingdom Heart is one of my first love, but it's also one of my first heartbreak. Simple and Clean was perfect. I can still, to this day, tell you exactly what happened in the first intro of the first game. And that song, simple and clean tonight, is all and I own. Hold me, da na 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 na, hold me, da da da. Regardless the warning, the future doesn't scare me at all. Oh, nothing like before, hold me. And then the game itself was phenomenal. I remember it was just beautiful. I remember going to different world of movies that I saw, Hercules, Alice in Wonderland. It was, I can still remember them by heart. It's that simple. We had the first one. We had Travel Town, right? Which is becoming, after that, Twilight Town. Let's not forget that. We had the Colosseum, which is Hercules, and we had Alice in Wonderland. Then we had the Tarzan world, right? Tarzan world. Then we had two more. We had Monstro, and we had Monstro, and we had Halloween, Nightmare Before Christmas, right? And then we had Aldo Bastion, which later was known as the world of the Beast, Beauty and the Beast. And it was a beautiful game. The from the music, even in the team music, that when you were on the menu, dum 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 tararam dum 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 tara 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 bam bam bam. And then we had the end. And then I didn't play. So I played Chain of Memories, which was also fun, but not as good as Kingdom Hearts 1, let's be honest. And then I fell in love with Bird by Sleep. Bird by Sleep, how can I say that? I'm gonna be completely fucking honest with you guys. I think Bird by Sleep's story was better than the first one, but I think mechanically speaking, I didn't like it. Then we had the second one. The second one is my favorite game of all time. Kingdom Hearts 2 is a masterpiece. Kingdom Hearts 2 is perfect. You got the introduction of Roxas, of Sora, the introduction of the nobodies. And why are the nobodies so important? Why is that such a good game? Is because Sora was doing right. He was killing Heartless, right? But then he created nobodies that were suffering, nobodies that were another monster. And for every single Heartless he killed, he was creating nobodies. It's like, what am I doing? Do I stop killing Heartless? What I'm doing, is that good or not? And again, the world, you had the same world, but you had it Mulan, you had it the Beast, the Beauty and the Beast. You had an actual world for it. You had it so many worlds, which phenomenal. Which it was incredible. It was so cool. I fucking loved it. And the song to me, My Sanctuary Now, where fears in life melts away, feels equalize. This song to me is perfection. There never was a song that affected me more than it did. Right? And to me, that was a climax. The song, the menu, the quick action I didn't like, because again, it was like, well, I need to pay attention and I cannot pay attention. I got ADHD. So it was a bit of a problem for me. But then again, it was a cool mechanic. Then we had we had Teardrop, which was on the 3DS. I didn't play it. We had 356 Days, which was a good game, but shitty graphics. It was awful. Region of Memories, it was cool, but again, the card system. Region of Memories was, again, very similar to Bird by Sleep. Story-wise, amazing. Chain of Memories, to me, is possibly one of the most interesting story ever made for Kingdom Hearts. Imagine going in a castle where you lose your memories, right? Just to save your friend. The whole story of the first one is because he wants to save Riku and Kairi. Sora's like willing to sacrifice every memory they ever made to save Riku, which is a dude in the previous game, which is timeline-wise, was a bad guy. So you're willing to save the bad guy, and you're willing to sacrifice everything for it. It's beautiful. And then you had the biggest heartbreak in my life, Kingdom Hearts 3. Call me crazy, call me stupid, call me any single name that you want, I don't care. To me, that game was shit. I'm sorry. The fact that we had... Let's get out together. I'm sorry, I'm pissed. Bye-bye Sleep. Kingdom Hearts. 356th Day. In the second one, I kind of forget the story of Axel and Roxas. Axel, amazing characters. My favorites. That chain of memories, rechain of memories. And we're at 4. We're at 4 right now. Kingdom Hearts 2. We had what else? Teardrop Distance. Dream Drop Distance. We had Kingdom Hearts 2.8. So we have 7 games. Should you do the third one? I may not have a sense of humor, but when you're in a title, when you write Kingdom Hearts 2.9 as a joke, no, it's not a joke, dude. I waited 13 years for that. And you know what pisses me off? The game Kingdom Hearts 3 was not bad. I'm pushing, I'm exaggerating. It wasn't bad. The story wasn't great. Okay, so you're telling me that the only bad guy we're gonna have is Xehanort. The only bad guy we're gonna have is different version of Xehanort. Right? The only one we had that is not Xehanort, Vanitas. Which I don't know if you guys know, but originally speaking, it's not great. You have Roxas, which is the nobody of Sora. We have Sora 1, 2, and the 3. And Vanitas is what? It looks like Sora. Right? So not great originally speaking. You're finding a version of Xehanort, which is great, right? But still. And my problem with Kingdom Hearts 3 was the wait. I fell in love with Kingdom Hearts 1. I was 12. I fell in love with Kingdom Hearts 2. I was 15. Kingdom Hearts 3 came out. I was in this apartment. I was 26 years old. 26 years old. 11 years later. The game between the second one and the third one is 13 years. And I love Kingdom Hearts. Don't get me wrong, I love it. But 13 years later, I couldn't care less. Didn't give a shit. And because of greed. Now the third one was supposed to be the end, right? But guess what they did? Guess what they did? I had this hatred for Kingdom Hearts 3. Waited 13 years, and guess what? The ending, the true ending with Kylie being saved, wasn't a DLC. We had to wait another year. So you're selling another game. And then you're telling me that there's Kingdom Hearts 4 with no outdates. You're gonna make some other game in between. It was done for me. Kingdom Hearts, wanna know why? You don't wanna know why Kingdom Hearts 3 doesn't have Final Fantasy characters. Wanna know why? Because Square Enix pulled off. They're like, nah. When a company like Square Enix is the moral background of your company, let me tell you something, it doesn't look great. It doesn't look good at all. Anywho, biggest disappointment, biggest falling in love. Kingdom Hearts, baby. Love you guys, take it easy. Peace.